with those ghosts getting in the cloak. I don't think WhiteRa had an observer close enough. No, he didn't. He wasn't really able to spot them. But oh my god, High Templar coming in and storming the rest of this army, just showing you how much damage a couple of High Templar can do to an army. Oh my lord, that was ridiculous. A very nice comeback by WhiteRa on this Colossus, trying to mop up whatever is left. But the rest of their army does go down, and I think both players were able to equalize pretty well. But despite the fact just that WhiteRa had such a huge army, he was pretty much maxed out. That kind of explains this resource gap, but very nice play by WhiteRa, just sneaking up these High Templar here and taking care of the rest of that Terran force when he realized he really lost a lot there. So great play, even trying to kill that medevac with some feedback, but that medevac has a little bit of life left. And so I guess this kind of explains WhiteRa's super saturation technique right now, because he can just skyrocket back, start warping in his units as much as he wants. I'm not sure how many warp gates he has. I think he just still has about 7. Yeah, and he has another robotics facility pumping out those colossi. So that's going to force the Terran player to try to go something else, but I don't really think he's doing that. Seems like he's just going to be sticking to medevacs and marauders right now, I guess, trying, because marauders are a bulkier force to deal with against these colossus. But it actually looks like right now both players are pretty even on the food count. And just looking at the harvesters, its army size is actually bigger for the Terran player, because WhiteRa just has like 81 harvesters, which is a ridiculous amount. So he's just going to be able to keep sacrificing his army and try to whittle down the Terran player. And here come the ghosts stealthing across the map again. Ghost recon combat coming in, and there goes the EMP on those High Templar again. And no, that one High Templar did have some energy left, but that was it. So here come the Archons, and these ghosts are just wrecking up a storm right here against those High Templar. And here come the Zealots charging in, and a couple of Colossus backing him off, but there's no storm for the Protest player, so this is going to be very difficult for him to deal with. Maybe getting a couple of ghosts, but no, that ghost is able to scurry away, and High Templars again up on this ledge to try to deny the Terran player any more EMP. So really great play by RoxKis right here, getting those ghosts, using the cloak. It's really difficult. Like I said, PvT is kind of a High Templar versus Ghost battle. WhiteRa could be able to just tear into that army with Psystorm, but the Terran player is not letting him do that with the Ghosts. And so here comes WhiteRa with some more harass right now. He is always harassing around the map, trying to pick away at these expansions as time allows him to. He even has this rogue pylon out here. He's not exposing himself yet, but he is right now. I guess he feels like he is going to be shown anyway, trying to take down a couple of units, but I don't think even a Marine goes down there from that side storm. But here comes WhiteRa with Colossus, trying to throw this player off guard right now. So with an Archon is going down. A couple Colossus right here, nothing really to support them. A couple Zealots coming in a little bit too late, and oh no, the Colossus are going down. That is it for the Colossus, and the High Templar not even able to get a storm off. So again, pretty big upset for WhiteRa. Looks like it is pretty much 2-1 on the resources lost, but WhiteRa, let's see if he's going to be able to keep affording these losses. I mean, it looks like the Terran player is pretty much just about as saturated as WhiteRa is. He's really going to need to either get a couple of good plays, a couple of good Psystorms, do whatever he can to try to get in this game. There are just tons of medevacs here right now, so feedback is not even worth it, because they're always healing up on stim, and there's just so many of them. So pretty much any energy that WhiteRa has is probably going to be used towards Storm if he can even get it off. And again, these annoying little Zealots being warped in, popping out these missile turrets, trying to disrupt any more expansions from the Terran player here. We see that WhiteRa doesn't see this back base right here, so he thinks that he has the upper hand, but really they are about equal on economy. Here comes a couple of Zealots with a couple of Colossus. Here are the Vikings, the response to the Colossus. That's what I thought he was going to be changing up his build. That just comes in right now. 8 Vikings right now. I didn't even see those. And these Zealots are just like, well, it's a little bit too late to run now, so I'm just going to run into this base and go and kill these Marauders and these SCVs. So right now those Colossus are dead, and feedback going on those medevacs actually. So WhiteRa deciding to try to kill those medevacs, and here comes the rest of the Terran force with those ghosts just lagging behind, and Vikings even trying to take down these Zealots right now. So I'm not sure how worth that push was. He was able to take out pretty much this entire mining expansion here, but there really wasn't all that much. WhiteRa taking a couple of units, and I think he actually was able to turn out pretty well, because it doesn't seem like a 2-1 resource lost anymore. So WhiteRa kind of in a tricky position right there, but he definitely made the best of it. And Roxas has just got like 1 million missile turrets here. Yeah, no, I don't exaggerate numbers ever at all. So here is the missile turret army, and he doesn't even have his command center here, so I guess he's just really paranoid about any more prisms or pylons getting built into here, and these expansions are all pretty much going up, and mules everywhere. Terran absolutely have that great advantage with tons of orbital commands. I think he doesn't have a planetary fortress anywhere. No, he doesn't really, and why would you put one here, really? So yeah, now WhiteRa is deciding to get some stalkers against those Vikings because he really is going to have to. He doesn't have anything that can attack air except for Storm, which is not really that great against air ever. So WhiteRa probably should be upgrading Blink soon. Yeah, he is Chrono boosting that out. Blink really great to try to chase down some units. And so yeah, the Terran player right now, he is pretty much the same composition as he has had the whole game, and the Ghosts are coming out again to try to make sure, and yeah, he has finally scoped out or realized how to counter this WhiteRa position up here, and the Archon is coming in. He's going to bring that down with the Warp Prism, but what's kind of nice is that WhiteRa can still just kind of warp in the High Templar here, and with that Kaidaran Amulet upgrade, he is always going to have Storm, so guess the Terran player just playing a little bit cautious right there. But let's see, I think a battle is about to approach. Raxus is trying to get in position, and here comes the Ghosts and the Zealots, and the High Templar are a little bit back, but he does get it off again. There's no Storm anymore, so it's just going to be who has the most force right now, and I think that the Terran player, actually this battle is pretty even right now. There's just tons of Colossus in the back, and the Stalkers and the Zealots were taking the hits, and oh my god, this is so close right now, and I think the Terran player is just going to barely be able to eke out alive, but here comes some more Zealots and Stalkers and High Templar to go and deal with the rest of this Terran force. Storm going off, another Storm, another feedback, but oh no, I think Roxas was able to get out of this battle again. This is just unbelievable, the amount of sheer force that WhiteRa has been throwing at this Terran player, but he's been doing such an excellent job with those Ghosts, those EMP. I don't think that WhiteRa has really been able to use Ghosts that much in head-to-head combat, or sorry, High Templar in head-to-head combat, because those Ghosts are just annihilating them so much. And the Warp Prism going at the only place where these missile turrets are not. Well, that is kind of a super waste right now. And yeah, the Terran player definitely sees this. So here comes the High Templar, but sadly for these High Templar, not really that many SCVs to deal with here. I think they only got a couple of kills. Here comes the Archon, and he is sadly going to die, and I think that War Prism died as well to that Viking fire. So Roxas spending tons of money to secure this expansion, not even saturated. I think he's just kind of trying to use this point as bait a little bit. I'm not sure if he really intended that for that purpose, but I don't think so, because he is now missile-turreting the rest of this side up. And both high yields are mined out, so this map is starting to get kind of scarce on resources. WhiteRa now just starting to saturate this back expansion here. And we don't really see any difference in composition. Actually, this is well, it doesn't seem like WhiteRa is getting Colossus anymore. It looks like he's just pumping out Immortals, which is definitely what I think he needs. Now that those Vikings are in the fray, I think that Colossus are not going to be that great. So Immortals will definitely be very good, and I don't really see that many Ghosts for the Terran player anymore. I see one Ghost in the map. I think that's really going to come back and bite him, because what has been winning him this game right now are those Ghosts against those High Templar and those Immortals. There's really no reason for WhiteRa to stop making High Templar. So I really don't see a reason for Rox to stop making Ghosts, but I guess here's the reason, because there are 4 battlecruisers coming out right now, and they're going to start moving across this location, but they're kind of out of place, because I think WhiteRa is going to be able to take the rest of this army. Here comes the battle, Zealots charging in, and Storm actually getting off this time. There's only one Ghost on the map, and the Terran army is getting torn into right now between those Zealots and those Immortals, and WhiteRa is now going for this remaining expansion here and leaving a couple units behind, and here comes those High Templars. They are probably going to get scoped out, and I think that Orbital Command is going to get shot down. Here comes the Terran player and the High Templar are on the ledge. They're not going to be able to get any Storm off. I'm not really sure what WhiteRa is thinking, leaving all of those units back there, but he is actually holding his own pretty well with those couple of Immortals right there. He's just taking the rest of this expansion, not really that greatly saturated, but WhiteRa kind of in a difficult position right now, has tons of High Templar, but not really anything else to support himself with. So let's see how he's going to be able to deal with this, and I think he's dealing with it just okay. Warping in an Archon, 2 Immortals coming in. He's going to be able to wipe off the rest of this force with some Storms. There they go. The rest are going down, and even feedback on those medevacs, so that is going to be it for any kind of healing capability. So